Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Kayla.
And I'm Crystal.
And this is Made for More. So today we are going to be discussing one of our blog posts that is on our website. We will link it down below. And this specific blog post is actually one of mine. It's called Truth versus
Lies.
I don't know how I came up with that, but I did. So we know that not everyone is really into reading blog posts or taking the time to do that, but so we just really wanted to make this into like a video format, and instead of me just talking about it, me and Crystal will both be discussing it and going just into further detail about it.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing today.
Yes. What I'm going to do is just ask her a couple questions just to kind of get the backstory of the blog, or if you haven't read it, that way you don't have to go read it. You just kind of know what it's about.
Or encourage you to go read all of it.
Yes, or encourage you to go read it in more detail. Whatever suits your fancy. So, the first question is, Kayla, what is this blog about?
Oh, I am glad that you asked, Crystal.
Truth versus lies. What is
I know.
that
What
about?
possibly could this be about?
Yeah.
So, there's this quote that I heard one time, and I wish I knew who it was from. If one of y'all knows, please let me know. But it's this. I'll say. Hopefully, it's not confusing. The devil has never told you one truth, and God has never told you one lie. I hope that made sense. But I really thought that that was like a powerful statement. I think I saw it like on Instagram or something. I really don't remember. But I don't know. That was just like obviously like it's like, yeah, duh. But it's just a really cool thing to think like everything the devil has told me like literally is not true. Like he has never said one thing that is truth, and the same thing goes for God. Like he's never really told you like a lie. Like that's just crazy to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like simple, but it's like an easy way to think about truth versus lie. Like it's so simple but powerful.
No, yeah, for sure. So the other thing about why I really wanted to write this blog is because I feel like we believe so many like lies that are thoughts in our heads that we don't even like really realize or understand are happening. And so I feel like this blog was kind of bringing awareness to like make everyone more aware of like the thoughts they're thinking, instead of just like letting the thoughts happen and believing them no matter what.
Or
like,
think this is just who I am. My thoughts are just who I am. That's just me.
Or like, I think this way because I'm like this, and just really like making sure what you're thinking and believing is truth and not lies that the enemy is like spitballing at you.
Well, that's a good topic right there. That's a good definition of what it's about, for sure. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Kayla, so what's an example of a lie that you have believed and had to decide to change your thought process on?
Glad you asked.
Yes.
Thank you. So in the blog post, pretty sure it's 3. I wrote 3 different lies that just kind of came to my head that I shared, and how I realized that they are lies and how I combated that with scripture. And so the one that I'm sharing today is we have to live up to the world's standards in order to fit in, was the lie that I kind of believe. I feel like a lot of people do. Like we think we have to, in order to fit in, we have to follow the world and what they're saying is cool or trendy or the right way to do things. The thing is it's kind of ironic because that statement is actually true. Like you do have to live up to the world's standards, like
To fit into the world.
in order to fit into the world.
Yes.
But that's like not our goal as Christians. Like we're called to live like set apart. We're supposed to like look different, and if we're not looking different, then we're not doing something right. Like like even though everyone's desires to fit in, like that's ultimately like a lie. Like we're not called to just fit in to the world. So that's one of them.
That's clever right there. That really is.
No, I literally wrote that because I feel like that's such a lie people believe, like that we have to live up to the world's standards to fit in. But then I was like, wait, that's actually true.
Yeah, it's true, and that's why so many people get beat up about not fitting in.
Yeah.
And then they strive to fit in more and more and get deeper and deeper into a hole that really...
And then you become unfulfilled.
Yes, and us as Christ followers aren't even meant to live
that way, yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, to live accepted in this world.
Yeah.
fully accepted and fulfilled.
Yeah.
So really, you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper into that hole.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And that's only 1 out of 3, you said?
Yeah.
So the other 2 are still in the blog that you need to go read.
God, guess you gotta go look at it.
You gotta go look at it.
Okay, and I'll do this last one. So there's one last question that's for both of us to answer. It says, how can we start to bring these lies we believe about ourselves to the surface and choose to start believing what is true? Which I know that's actually kind of hard because, again, these lies we believe and have thoughts in our head we've believed for so long that it's like, how do we decipher what is truth and what isn't, you know?
Yeah, so I think that how we start to bring them to the surface is by doing exactly that. Thinking about them and bringing them to the surface. Deciding if what is in your head is truth or if it is not truth. And that goes back to Satan has never told you one truth and God has never told you one lie. So if you're thinking like, man, I am so blank, think about that statement and be like, is that true? Or am I just believing it's true?
Yeah.
Like, you have to break it down. If there's strong enough thoughts like that and you can write them on paper and like go into them into depth like that, that's how you can start right there. Is just thinking about them and breaking them down. And then also combating them with scripture, like you said.
Yeah.
If you have one thought that is always in your head, or even multiple, if they're strong enough, go to scripture and seek one verse to help you combat that one lie. Like, don't think you have to just get all of your lies out and like you got to think perfectly. Just do them one at a time.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll be easier.
Yeah, that's good. Because I feel like when it's in your head, it's like confusing and hard to decipher or tell anything. And so I feel like when you finally like get it out of your head, no matter like what method you do, I feel like that's like a step in the right direction of trying to like think better thoughts about yourself. And I feel like another way is like when you think a thought, like is like think like, is this something that God would like say to me or tell me, or is this something that like the enemy is trying to use to like push me down? And obviously if it's negative or pushing you down in how you look or appearance or how you are as a person, like it's obviously not true. And we have to just believe like what scripture says about that more so than like what the world tells us that we're
I was just about to
like
go into that, like about yourself. You yourself can tell yourself lies that are like from the enemy. Like you can look in the mirror and be like, I'm ugly. Okay, well that's not true.
Like where did that thought originally come from was a thought that was like that.
Right.
You know?
So sometimes you might just have to look into yourself and be like, am I fueling these lies? Like, am I giving into these lies and making them bigger than they need to be?
Okay, and the last thing we wanted to mention is we mentioned this book actually in our top 5 favorite books video, but we wanted to mention it again because this like topic we're talking about, literally like all the tools and everything you need to know about how to bring thoughts like this to light and combat it with truth is literally like all in this book. And so if you're interested in this topic, highly recommend you go and read that. We will link it down below.
It's called Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen.
It's called Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. And we highly recommend, if you think this is something you need to work on, to go and purchase that. And so we will also be linking the blog post, Truth vs. Lies, down below. So you can go check it out and read a little bit more about it.
Yes, and I also want to say, like, if you do struggle with believing lies and the topic of truth versus lies, I don't want this to like make you feel discouraged or like you have so much work to do, because like everyone deals with it. It's just kind of how you go about combating it that will make it get easier. Like everybody struggles with this. You're not like weird or alone if you really struggle with like just believing the lies in your head. It's just how you go forward and move forward in that and figure out the tips and ways that works best for you.
And that's why we're like even doing these videos. We're showing that like it's not uncommon. Like everyone struggles with it. Like we're not saying we don't struggle with it. Like everyone struggles with this. But it's more of a, do you want to live in believing those lies still, or do you want to like change and go against your way of thinking? It's kind of how it is. So,
or the enemy's strategy against you.
Yup. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We hope it encouraged you in any way and gave you some ideas of how to apply this to your life. And if you guys want to read more blog posts, our website is linked down below. This specific one will be linked down below, and the book Get Out of Your Head that we mentioned is also in the description. And all of our social medias are down there, so follow us so you can stay up to date on everything we're doing and when we post videos and blogs and podcasts. And
or if you just have any other questions about this topic,
yeah,
we'd be more than
send
open.
us a DM, comment down
Yes.
below, do all that.
Yes.
And subscribe and hit that like button.
Yes, please and thank you.
Bye.